If I had, excuse me, if I had known I was going to be on TV, I would have spent more time getting my makeup done. Thank you. First of all, I need to thank Bernie O'Keefe, a dear friend of mine who put my name up, excuse me, for being a member of the Hall of Fame. Bernie is not with us this evening. He is not doing very well, and I hope that you would all keep in mind in his thoughts and prayers. I would like to congratulate all of the inductees on their job that they have done and the accomplishments that they have done in themselves. And Bunty, I think Jeremy would be very proud of us. What do you think? But most importantly, I have to be grateful for my special love for my family, and my wife Linda and I just celebrated our 62nd wedding anniversary. Our parents said it was never going to work. With me tonight, I have my son Scott, my son Sean, and Sean's wife Jerry, and my two grandchildren, Will and Grace, and Will's wife Caitlin, and who are the proud parents of my great-grandchildren, Matthew, who's 3.5, and Brooklyn, who's a year old. And on top of that, I think one other thing that I must mention, that my grandson, Will graduate from UConn Law School this spring, and my granddaughter, Grace, will graduate in a 5-year architectural program from Penn State University. The American Nobel Prize winner, dramatist Eugene O'Neill, wrote A Long Day's Journey into Night. My sports journey started many, many years ago as a caddy at the Williams College Golf Course in Williamstown, Massachusetts. It was called Taconic. And from there, I needed to go to college and I needed to get money, and that was the only way I could do it. And so I eventually worked up through the ranks, became the #1 caddy and the caddy master. And as the years passed, I went through the service. I spent some more time in college, and I spent some more time in college, and some more time in college. And finally, in the year 1964, in January, on a Friday, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I took my last undergraduate final exam. And on Monday morning, at 8:30 in the morning, I stood in front of a group of 7th graders at the Clara T. O'Connell School in Bristol, Connecticut. Now, you have to remember, 2 months before that, I never heard of Bristol, Connecticut. And secondly, I didn't know how to get there. So as luck would have it, I got into coaching right away, and I had the 7th grade class. You might remember some of these kids that played on this team. These young kids, Bob Freeman, John Colapetro, Jimmy Ziogas, and some others. These kids are doing pretty well, you know. But then my coaching career started where I really wanted it to go, and that was in high school golf coaching. And so I went to the high school in the year after the O'Connell School, and I got the head coaching job and the freshman basketball job. Now the problem with the head coaching job was Tom Monahan took me aside and he said, "Bob, I can't give it to you." And I said, "Why is that?" He said, "Well, you don't have a big enough car." I said, "I have a Volkswagen." I said, "It's a 2-door Volkswagen with a sunroof and a hot spark ignition. What's wrong with that?" And he said, "Not good enough." So I conned my good friend Paul Castelline, who had a two-door Mustang. And I said, Paul, I'm naming you my assistant coach. You're not going to get paid, but you're going to drive with me to away matches wherever we go. And so there we went. 2 coaches, 2 cars, 5 students, and 7 golf bags, and it was success after that. One other problem came up during my coaching career, and that was in coaching basketball. I had this freshman basketball team which there were 14 guards and 1 center, and so I had this great program called the Auburn Shuffle. The problem was I could get people to run it, and I had Dave Rapone was running the shuffle, and he was very good at it. He could, whatever it was a very difficult thing to do, but I couldn't get him to pass a geometry test to save my life. And from there, of course, we got into the years where they spoke about the things that happened to me, the accomplishments in golf, the teams that I had, the Special Olympics, and the refereeing and officiating track and field events all over the country. It was a great trip for me. And so I am reminded of my early years when I was at a grammar school in North Adams, Massachusetts. It was called Mark Hopkins. Now, Mark Hopkins was named after a famous educator who was and happened to have been a president of Williams College, where my golfing career started. And on the stone portal in Williams College is a plaque. And on this plaque is one of my favorite quotes. And it's a quote that I've always used because I always thought it was great because first of all, it was very simple, and also that it was very eloquent. And the quote is, "Climb high, climb far. Your aim the sky, your goal the star." And tonight, I think a little stardust has fallen on my shoulders. Thank you.